Baseball, America's pastime. It's a sport everyone in America has either played or has a connection to. Associated with the sport comes the name George Herman Ruth, also known as Babe Ruth. Not many people understand why his name is common amongst the baseball world, other than the fact that he had a lot of home runs. Not only was this man one of the best players of his time, he was a social icon, ambassador of the game. To understand how Babe Ruth impacted baseball, you must understand where he came from, his statistical impact of the game, his stardom, and his team history. Babe Ruth had a troubled childhood, which led him to the game of baseball by chance. According to Ellen Wood, Babe was born to George Ruth and Catherine Schamberger on February 6, 1895. His father spent majority of his time at work, and his mother was sick. With a lack of parenting, Babe spent his free time getting into trouble and was eventually sent to St. Mary's Industrial School. This is where he learned the game of baseball. Babe stated that his swing came from the imitation of brother Matthias, whom he first saw hit a baseball. Minor league teams saw his outstanding performance at the school, and at the tender age of 18, he played semi-pro baseball with the Orioles. This was just the start of a 20-year career filled with record-setting statistics, some that stand today. He hit 714 home runs, only to be beaten first by Hank Aaron with 755, and the performance-enhanced Barry Bonds with 762. Hitting over 700 home runs is something only 3 people in the history of baseball have ever done, of which he did first. Not only did he do it, he did it without steroids and during a time which was unfathomable. Prior to Babe Ruth, the record was 27. He broke that multiple times. Babe's numbers still stand today. He's placed third on home run list with 714, 10th in batting average with 342, second on runs batted in list with 2,213, first on all-time slugging percentage with a 690 slugging percentage. He's also first all-time on base plus slugging percentage of 1.164. Compared to modern day players, some of which you know, A-Rod, Fielder, biggest names, some of the best hitters of our generation. Babe Ruth is in the green, coming in with runs contributed per at bat with 0.6. A-Rod has 0.4, and Prince Fielder is right around 0.3. Now the total numbers of bases that Babe Ruth hit per at bat, he was at 0.8, which means he almost scored every single time he went up to bat. 0.5 is where A-Rod's at, and 0.4 is where Prince Fielder's at. It has been 79 years since he played his last game. The people of the world wanted to be like him, and they still do to this day. The man known as Babe was larger than life, and everyone admired him. Babe had nicknames that proved he was indeed more than just a baseball player. The Great Bambino, the Sultan of SWAT, the Big Bam, many, many more names, all seeming to be larger than life. To this day, the baseball players call huge home run shots Ruthian shots. He was famous worldwide. He had more stardom than the President of the United States. According to Shorts, during World War II, when Japanese soldiers charged American troops, they would sometimes scream, "To hell with Babe Ruth." Not to hell with the President, not to hell with Douglas MacArthur, but to hell with Babe Ruth. He has legends that surround him. He pointed in the outfield one time, calling his home run shot. The very next pitch, he hit it right over the fence. Legend also has it that he promised a sick child he'd hit 1 home run, in which the next day, he hit 3 of them for the child. The Great Bambino is a legend that goes far beyond his interaction with people. It affected history. To further his legend and fame, you have to understand his team history. He started off with the Orioles and was traded to the Red Sox. He was traded to the New York Yankees when the Sox owner needed more money to finance his Broadway shows. From there, the Sox didn't win a single World Series for 86 years, while the rival Yankees have flourished. This is known as the Curse of the Bambino. The Yankees Stadium was referred to as the house that Ruth built. He drew in such a crowd that he had a stadium nicknamed after him. The candy bar Babe Ruth is also rumored to have been named after him. Now that we know how the man became a legend and his impact to the game, let us review how. Man and legend, also referred to as the Babe Ruth, may never be seen again. He is one of the greatest players of all time. Not only that, but he embraced his stardom and is known worldwide. To this day, he has a curse named after him, a stadium, a candy bar, and his legend continues throughout the youth. Next time you're at a baseball practice, watch for a young player. Point out to the outfield, calling a shot. Then and there, you'll know that the legend of George Herman Ruth lives on.